In today's video, we are talking about an uncomfortable topic under the realm of angelology. And specifically, we're talking about demons. And I believe it's important to talk about demons because the Bible talks about demons, and Jesus himself confronted demons. So we need to recognize that this is a reality, that demons do exist, and we need to know about them and realize our identity if you're a Christian in Christ, and how to live a life of holiness and flee from evil desires and free from the attacks of the enemy. So let's begin by just simply discussing what demons are and where do they specifically come from. Demons, and this comes from Wayne Grudem's definition in his systematic theology, which I like and I prefer. I graduated Phoenix Seminary. I had to read the whole entire textbook of his systematic theology, and I believe that this is a biblical definition, and I'll be looking at some verses with you all to show you that this is a biblical definition. But what are demons? They are evil angels who sinned against God and who now continually work evil in the world. And so I'm going to look at a verse with all of you right now in 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 4. It says, "For if God did not spare angels when they sinned, but cast them into hell and committed them to chains of gloomy darkness to be kept until the judgment." Now, I want to talk about this for a moment. Angels, God created angels. He created them on the first day when he created the heavens and the earth. And at some point, a group of the angels, the Bible teaches a third of the angels, decide to sin against God, and they were led by Lucifer, who's also known as Satan in the Bible. They were led by him to sin against God. He desired God's place, and he desired to be God. And so God casts him out, as 2 Peter chapter 2 said, that God casted them into hell. Now, some angels are in hell, and some are actually on the earth right now, but some are in hell, and others will be kept in chains until the day of judgment at the end of all things. Let's keep reading about what angels are. This comes from Jude verse 6. Jude is only one chapter. So Jude verse 6 says, "And the angels who did not stay with their own position of authority," that refers to the beginning where they sinned against God, "but left their proper dwelling, he has kept in eternal chains under gloomy darkness until the judgment of the great day." Furthermore, some are kept in chains right now. Also, this is just giving evidence. He was thrown down to earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. So some angels are in hell, waiting to be kept and tortured and punished for the judgment. And then others are sent as Satan. Others are sent down with Satan to earth. Now, what are some of the things that we need to know about? What are some of the things that we actually need to know about demons? What are the characteristics? Fallen angels, as I mentioned, they were created to glorify God. But they decide to seek glory for themselves, and now they do evil in the world. 2, they are liars. And this comes from John chapter 8, verse 44. It says, "And you are of your father the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth." He knows truth, by the way, but he doesn't stand in it because there is no truth in him. So he knows it, but he himself is a liar. And when he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he's a father of lies. So this is specifically referring to Satan, but also demons are liars as well. Furthermore, they know the truth. They know the Bible. When Jesus was tempted, he was tempted in the wilderness by Satan, and Satan quoted scriptures. And because he's a liar, he misinterpreted the scriptures, but he did know the scriptures, so he knows there's an element of truth. He knows who Jesus is. As I'll be looking at in another occasion, involving demonization of 2 individuals in Matthew chapter 8. But let's look at James chapter 2, verse 19. It says, "You believe that God is one, and you do well. Even the demons believe and shudder." So demons believe in God. They know God, which is people who are atheists don't even believe God, but even the demons believe in God. They know who God is. Let's go to actually Matthew chapter 8. This is an account of two people who were demonically influenced, who were demonically controlled. They're called the demoniacs, often referred to. They're two demon-possessed men, and this shows us some of their characteristics of demons. Verse 28 says, "And when he came to the other side," referring to Jesus, "the country of the Gadarenes, the two demon-possessed men met him, coming out of the tombs." So they're walking in the darkness. They're walking in a cemetery. So fierce, so they're strong, that no one could pass that way. And behold, they cried out, "What have you to do with us, O Son of God? Have you come to torment us before the time?" So they know that Jesus is the Son of God. So they know truth. They also know the truth of their destiny, that one day they will be destroyed. Let's keep going on. "Now a herd of many pigs were feeding at some distance from them. And the demons begged him, saying, 'If you cast us out, send us away into the herd of pigs.' And he said to them, 'Go.'" So this is also interesting as well, because this indicates that demons don't have free range, but that they can only do what they're given permission to do by God. Some theologians like to say that demons are on a leash, that God has them on a leash, that they only do what God permits, with in accordance of the divine will, the decretive will of the things that will happen on this earth, that God will use their sinful and evil acts. God will use those for good and for his glory. So Jesus, they recognize Jesus' authority. They're not stronger than Jesus, that Jesus is stronger than they are. And they ask his permission to be sent into the pigs. And so he sends them into the pigs. And so let's look at some other characteristics. Don't they know truth? They're powerful, as we looked at in Matthew chapter 8. What are their limits, though? What are some of the things that they're limited to? Demons can only do what God permits them to do. That comes from Job chapter 1, but also in Matthew chapter 8. They need permission from God. 2, demons are kept in eternal chains. Some demons are kept right now, waiting to be cast into hell, the lake of fire, the second death. But some are in outer darkness, which is often commonly referred to as hell as well. Number 3, demons can be resisted by Christians through the authority of Jesus. If you are a Christian and you've been tempted plenty of times in your life, and if right now you're going through temptation where this just seems different to you, you never thought about these things, or even you're just experiencing a time of darkness, trust in Jesus and pray to Jesus, and he will help you overcome evil in your life. And resist the enemy, and he will flee from you. That's James. That's what the book of James says, to resist the enemy, and he will flee from you. You do not have to succumb, and you are not obligated to succumb to the attacks of the enemy anymore. Christians need to realize that spiritual warfare is a legitimate thing, that it is real. And at our church, at Reborn Church, my dad, Pastor Yabe, talks about it a lot because Christians need to be aware of it. Christians need to be aware of their authority that they have in Christ, and that they can push back darkness and not have to succumb to darkness, that they can overcome the attacks of the enemy and not succumb to the attacks of the enemy. Number 4, demons are limited in their knowledge. Did you know that people tend to believe that Satan can read their minds, or that Satan is everywhere at all places at all times, like he's omnipresent as God is? That's completely far from the truth. That demons are not omnipresent. Demons are single beings and persons, and they have specific locations that they go, but they're not omnipresent as God is. Anywhere you decide to go, God will be there, but demons are limited in that capacity. And so in this video today, we talked about what are demons, because I want you to be aware of what they are, because the Bible teaches about what they are. But furthermore, because I want you to recognize that they're powerful, and not to take that and not to just be foolish about it, think that they're weak. They're powerful, but that you are more powerful in Christ. And so I wanted to give you hope and encouragement in that. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about can you be demon possessed, and what Christians believe about it. So stay tuned to that next video. If you found value in this video, consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel, and I will see you in a future video.